What's going on, people of our YouTube? Checking in with the Cadillac Deville today. So this car has to be prepped, finished, and ready to drive to Atlanta in about a week. So I've still got to put a window in it. Lower tie rod thing on the back wheel is some type of arm that controls the toe in and out is bent. And as you can see, I've got our old radiator out with our crap stains running down it, where this one was puking its guts out. And yeah, so now it's out. This was a pain in the ass because you've got, looks like there's some cooler lines over here. There's trans cooler lines down here at the bottom, and then the two radiator hoses, which honestly, the radiator hoses, the lower one was just the biggest pain in the ass as everything else was. The upper one's over here and hooks into this side. So, but yeah, you've got a cooler line here, I guess power steering or something. Here's the return for it here. There's another line right here, and that one that hooks into this lower one. It doesn't actually bolt to the radiator, it hooks to that line. That one to the radiator. The lower one down there, right there to the radiator. Lower one right here for the radiator, and an upper one that was sitting, here, for the trans cooler, and then just hoses. So that was a pain in the ass. And here's our old radiator. Like I said, I don't know what exactly did those awful gouges into the radiator, but had those not been there, this radiator would have been fine. I don't believe in patching radiators, not on something like this. I just feel a lot better about replacing it. Also, I can't tell if this one's factory or not. It doesn't look like a factory radiator. I could be wrong. But see how thin it is? That's what made me think it was factory, being so thin like that. And check out our new one. Oh yeah, see that new one? This is the new one. Here's the old one. It's a lot thicker. So it'll hold more water, and it'll be better for cooling. And because this car has got to do 6 hours and probably half of those in stop and go traffic to Atlanta, you know, let's play it safe than sorry. We've also got a new water pump, which a water pump on a 4.9 Cadillac motor is huge. There's the pulley for it right here, and then this whole casing all the way back over to this corner and back is water pump, and the entire casing has to, or that's all part of the water pump that has to come off. So fun Cadillacs, hooray, just freaking love them. Yeah, so we're gonna put the radiator in it, and then I gotta put the water pump in it, and then if everything's looking right, then we'll be good. Oh, I forgot, we're also doing the thermostat. We put a 180-degree thermostat in it to help it run a little colder, or open a little earlier, I should say. I wouldn't have ran a thermostat at all. I mean, it's hot today, and stop and go traffic on a car that hasn't been driven in years. We fucking saved this one. It was a rescue. I would have just left the thermostat out, but that's me. Will wanted to put a thermostat in it, so we're putting a thermostat in it. Also, he wanted to put AC on it, because that's Will. I'm a 4 windows and 60 mile an hour kind of man, but he wants AC. I got to looking. This lower hose right up underneath this fitting has a hole in it where all the freon's leaked out. Also, the plug-in is unplugged. This fitting has been changed out to an R134A fitting, and yet there's still no freon in it because there's a hole in it. And plus, I don't know if you can see, but the belt right here is off the compressor. So they actually got a smaller belt and put on it to bypass the AC compressor. Which means this car is probably not gonna have AC anytime soon, because if we want AC, this line definitely has to be replaced. Or yeah, this line has to be replaced, which it just unbolts right there and there, but it has to be replaced. The reason the belt's off the compressor is probably because the compressor is bad. So we'll have to put a belt on the compressor and see if it works. If not, there's a compressor, and this fitting is all chewed up. I know it's new, but it's not looking too healthy. So, and another fitting. Then put Freon in it, and then see if it cycles, supposing the condenser and all the other pieces are intact. Don't know if they are or not. I didn't even realize that the belt was off the compressor till about 20 minutes ago when I started pulling this radiator. So who knows what's gonna happen. But I'm gonna move on and continue to put the radiator in it. I might stop right here and actually go ahead and remove the water pump first before taking all this other stuff off. But I'm running on a limited amount of time for today anyway, so I can at least go ahead and get the belt off and unbolt the water pump, and then maybe tomorrow morning or tonight I can get out here and start reinstalling the water pump, the new one, and get the radiator installed. I just don't want to put the new radiator in there and then lose this little bit of hand room that I've got to get a wrench in there for taking off these corner bolts, because then the radiator and the lines will be in the way. So I might just leave the radiator out for now, go ahead and pull the coolant reservoir too, so that I can have more room to get down in here to this god-awful water pump. Alright, so moving on, I'm going to start the water pump. Cataphracts update. So the sun has set, there's the moon, and we're still working on the cataphract. So the new radiator is in. It only cost me some skin on my finger, a little bit on my elbow, and a lot of grease all over my body. It's in. All the new lines are hooked up. I went down through there, and now we're doing the thermostat, which is down here, inside that crusty looking thing, right here, right here. And I probably moved the work light to the other side of the car. Since we're on the other side of the car now. So let me just wait until I start filming to decide to relocate all my equipment.
You asked me to do it.
That's alright. I was already touching it. Move the cord so I don't bust my ass on it. And now, like I said, right there is that there a thermostat. Oh y'all. So I gotta take the housing off and see how crusty it is. And the serpentine belt thingamajigger's back on. And y'all, so get that thermostat out. And
you found a pecan.
There's not any, well, there's not a lot of pecan places for trees around this area, so I wonder where that would have came from. Anyway, moving on.
I found an accordion in my intake.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna pull the thermostat housing, so then we'll pick up after that. Alright, so there's the opening.
Yeah, I'll use my phone light so I can kind of maneuver it around.
Okay. So there's the opening for the thermostat. We've already got the new gasket sitting in there, and you can see all the gunkiness that is Cadillac 4.9.
Yeah, it's gonna get flushed anyway.
Yeah.
So.
It's got a full coolant flush. But there's the new O-ring. There's the old O-ring and thermostat, which you can see is rusty compared to that. So I'm still hoping I can get away with not putting a water pump in it just yet. And this is a STC 195.
And this is a 180G.
180.
Damn it, get the dog from me. You about to die.
Did you get it?
No.
Okay. So now we reinstall the new one, or
I didn't get it again.
Or we install the new one now. So let's go ahead and get that new one in. All right. So radiator's all buttoned in. All the magical hoses are buttoned in. All the lines are in there. Yada yada yada. Topped it off with water. We're gonna do a coolant flush, so water is okay for the moment. And then we'll mix some probably CLR or some rust deterrent in there and flush it all out. Pretty sure I still got CLR in the building. And we will start this thing up in just a second. I got to get the battery bolted back in and that kind of stuff, so let's get that in.
I'm gonna grab your drink, Tim. And cigarettes.
Alright. So while I figure out how to make that tripod move, there we are. It's all bolted back together. It's full of water. I'm going to check it again.
Oops. Let me just lose my key.
Oh, come on.
It smells like my old American car and mold. You ready?
I'm waiting on you. Alright, so it's alive. I don't know if you can see it, there's a little bit of smoke coming off the front of the motor. Like I said, that could be anything. Where my greasy hands have been touching the exhaust manifold, where the coolant spilled out, anything. Look, I did it right there. Alright, well anyway, we're going to let it run for a few minutes. I can hear the fans cycling, so that's always a good sign. And just knocked over a box of hose clamps. Knocked them all into the ground, great. So, we'll let it run a few minutes, start checking for more leaks. Alright, it's been about half an hour. We've let it sit here and run. And the only warning light that it has on is the inflatable restraint, which airbags, or yeah, it'd be the airbags, I'm pretty sure. And bled the coolant system the GM way. You fire it up, turn your heat wide open, and then you just like throttle and let off the gas like this. And you do that for about 5 minutes. It just womp, womp, low, hard, just roll, womp, womp. Especially on these Cadillacs. These Cadillacs and the Cavaliers love to be bled that way. I don't know what it is. I guess just the shaking and the throttling. Usually I can bleed them every time that way, no problem. And sure enough, it bled. Got hot, hot, hot heat. It is good and warm. And the electric fans came on. The air that is pulling through the motor right now is good and cool. It's not hot. The hoses have cooled off. They were hot earlier. They've cooled down good. They've got pressure, so it is holding water. Also, if you check, I know you guys can't see it. Well, you can see it a little bit. It's holding water in there. I haven't found any leaks yet. Everything looks dry. The water pump and everything down in there looks good and dry. I don't see any pouring or wet spots. And Will is beginning changing the light bulbs out, because like I said, this car should be done in less than 2 working days.
You know, breathing in 30 seconds of this Cadillac exhaust has done more damage to me than 5 years of smoking.
I believe it. Look at these beautiful Cadillac tail fins. Ugh. Love those tail fins on these Cadillacs.
It's going to Atlanta.
Yeah, this car will go to Atlanta. And Will's changing tag lights. Tim's, I guess we'll work on some brake lights next. These are working, but we may change them, we may not.
I got a full set of every damn thing.
We'll probably put them in the car and change them later, because these are working fine. We'll make sure all 3 sets light up when we hit the brakes and everything, and then we'll go.
Okay, so I took that off, now what?
Yeah, I'll help you in just a second. And so Cadillac is pretty much good for tonight. I'm stopping the camera here because the battery's about to die. We will catch you in the next, well, you know what, I'll probably just tack another video on at the end of this one, because we've got to change the control arm on this back wheel. Then we're gonna hit the road, guys. All right, well, maybe this will be all for today. Preparing the Cadillac for battle. The Battle-lac.
Cataphract.
Cataphract.
Oh, Cataphract is a Greek cavalry unit, so it is a, yeah.
That's not fitting at all for a Cadillac.
Cataphract.
No, not really. This is a big American car.
Yeah.
Kathy the Cadillac.
Yeah.
The coolest part about Cadillac headlights is there's 2 screws that are here and here, and when it's bolted in there it sits like that, and the 2 screws are literally big plastic, these, and they just go through there into that part, and that's what holds the whole headlight assembly. And you take it out, and literally the entire assembly comes right out, both sides. Look, now it's a Cadillac. That's just crazy how they did the engineering on this. So, changing headlights into Cataphract. Now for the headlights, you've got a 9005 for the high beam and a 9006 for the low beam. For the corner lights, there's 2 bulbs. There's a driving parking lamp, and then on the corner you have a vanity lamp. Now this is one of those, it's I guess you call it a vanity lamp, I'm not exactly if that's what it's called, but there's a bulb in here, and when you indicate a signal, such as if you're turning right, this is the right corner lamp, this lights up in white and lights the path on the side so that you can see where you're going. And to get that off, there's a Torx bit screw here and another one at the bottom, but if you're careful enough you can use an Allen wrench, and I was able to carefully use an Allen wrench to get them out. So once that's out, you just pull it and it pops right out. Ta-da! Here's the new high beams. Here's the new low beams. See if I can get a better shot of them in the dark. It's more of a white light. Are you good? Press the brakes. Beautiful. All right. Wonderful. Cataphract. Almost ready to hit the road. So we just got to go back and get these side vanity marker lights, because I'm trying to find out they gave us the wrong bulbs. So, but anyway. All right, guys. So this is gonna end day 2 of the Cadillac build. Or Cadillac Resurrection. Tim, are we in focus? I don't even know if we're in focus.
Yeah, I can barely see you.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter at this point. So we figured out that there's a tie rod that's wrong on the back of the car. It's bent, and because it's bent, we are going to be, let's try it this way. We're going to be replacing it. We have found, there is one in the local junkyard. I don't know whether you can see it or not. This is it, and it's bent badly. So this is supposed to be straight, and it's got a bend in it, get 30 degrees, something like that. I don't do math very well, but there's a bend in it. I'm gonna try to take it in the morning, have it heated right here, and bend it back forward. We'll see if it snaps or if it holds, and I'll get some clips of that in the morning. So this is just gonna end this segment. It'll carry on in just a second, and it'll be morning time. We'll be in the Lincoln, and we'll be headed off to get it all taken care of. Alrighty, see you in the morning.